Everybody, welcome back to, I guess what we're calling fall haul videos now, here on the Crypt. So, just kind of mashing the last 2-3 weeks of September into one thing. Since there wasn't any single day that was really great for like pickups. It was more kind of, I'd go out, I'd find one thing, I'd come back and like put it in a pile, and that's kind of how things went for a while. So we're getting a bunch of time covered all at once. So first cool thing I found is this actually really nice axe at Goodwill. Still has the tag. The head is loose, but it looks so cool. And I'm really happy that I can use this as a prop at some point. I want to be careful about that though, because But at some point you'll get to see me, holding it, during one of the other videos where we're not focused on a table, and it does look pretty good. So, see, anything related to horror. Sometimes not necessarily, but that's what we collect. So, I remember the dates I picked a lot of this stuff up. So, moving on from props, this is our one vinyl pickup for the last couple weeks. I think I got this on Friday the 13th, and it was pretty cool to find it used. So this is the Scream 1 and 2 soundtrack, I think just from Baris. Yeah, Baris Sarabade, or however you pronounce that. So, it's got cool art. Not a whole lot of frills otherwise, though. So, let you see the back. So, I got this used for, I think it was like 17-ish, which new it's like 22. It wasn't like a big deal kind of thing, where I got it like super cheap. Just a little bit off the new price. But I almost bought this new like 3 or 4 times, so I was happy to just stumble into it. The slip is a little messed up, but I don't really care all that much. So, and then, looking at the record itself, it's actually a pretty cool one. So, it actually comes with a real inner liner. And it's like this kind of ghost face white. So, with Drew Barrymore's Slaughtered Corpse, which is a fun thing. And then the old phone in the middle. So, this is going to be a fun thing to listen to while I do whatever I'm going to do in October, which is fastly approaching, good lord. So, I feel like I should do something special, but have no idea what that is. So, yeah, I think this is one of the things I was most excited to just stumble across. Yes, at last! But in terms of a collectible, it's not necessarily all that special, but I'm happy, so. And I'm counting stuff that arrives in the mail. So, the October Fangoria is out. I think this got here, I'd say early last week. So, I've flipped through it a little bit, as I destroy my issue. The new Fangoria, I'd heard of Fangoria last year when they relaunched, but I'd never been like a magazine person. So it's like, oh, Fangoria is a thing now. Yeah, I can subscribe and everything. And it took me almost a full year to just read the first issue. Turns out I am really, really bad at reading magazines, in a timely fashion. So we're gonna try to do a better job here so we can actually have conversations with people on Twitter with the content, but we're already off to a great start because there's a big ad for Crawl right in the front. And we talk about Creepshow. It's this thing called Satanic Panic that all my Twitter friends were really excited about for a while. It's going to be a fun time, so I enjoy getting these. I just kind of wish I was faster at reading through them. And so, doing our time jump thing, I picked this up just a few days ago on Tuesday. So, this is the 2019 Child's Play. It has a surprisingly, It's not on 4K. There was no collector edition. This is it. This is it along with the DVD. And I was kind of surprised by that. Frankly, it was a little disappointing because it's like not fancy like I'm used to being spoiled by like Shout Factory or Best Buy Steelbooks, or I kind of expected more. However, when you look at the actual extras, we get a commentary, we get a making of featurette, we get a thing about the puppet, soundtrack trailer. Oh, that's different. Lee Hardcastle Claymations. Was there? I don't remember if there was Claymation in here, but that should be fun anyway, because Lee Hardcastle's awesome. Gallery and a trailer. So it's actually got a fairly decent amount of content, and I'll probably do, if I can find time, I'll probably do like a focused title review on this. So, because no matter how you may feel about the 2019 Child's Play, some people were like, I hate this isn't my Chucky. It's like, I get it, I understand you feel that way. I went in with like a totally open mind. It's like, okay, everybody else got remade. Jason got a remake. Freddy got a remake. Leatherface got a remake. Michael Myers got a remake. Everybody got a remake. So the way I looked at it was like, well, okay, it's just Chucky's turn. So it didn't like viscerally offend me like it did a lot of people, surprisingly. And so I just went into it, like divorced all the Don Mancini mythology of Chucky from my head, and kicked back and had a beer, and I had a pretty awesome time. And turns out this is actually a much better movie than you would have expected. So I'd give it like a solid B+, in terms of like how the remakes went. Like if Chainsaw 2003 is an A, this is a B+. I personally really loved that remake too, because it takes the idea and it does something different with it while kind of keeping the vibe. You know what I mean? So they quite simple and stripped down. It even has the little cheap recycle case that a lot of people hate, but we're gonna try to keep it in one piece. So that'll be fun for me to watch. And then jumping back to last week, I hadn't seen Hereditary yet. So when it was, blowing everything up, the year it came out, I had kind of just started like doing online content. Like I wasn't really in the horror conversation as much as I am nowadays. I didn't really know anyone in the community. Speaking of the community, thing that I really enjoyed. So the quote on the front of Child's Play is from my Twitter friend Heather Wixon. So yeah, you made it. I really just love supporting my friends whenever I can. Usually can't afford to, but this time, haha. So go read her stuff. She's great. Heather Wixon. I'm daily dead. Anyway, so I hadn't gotten to see Hereditary. I heard it compared to The Exorcist, and that actually kind of spooked me away from wanting to watch Hereditary, because I personally do not like The Exorcist. Like, on the Inside Movies Galore podcast, on our Exorcist episode, I famously got pretty mad when expressing my real feelings about it, and I'm going to avoid going into a rant, but I don't know, suffice to say, not a fan of The Exorcist, so I kind of like shelved it for a while. And then I was on a trip earlier this summer, and I got to see, I think, like the first third or quarter of it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty awesome. But I had to go do something, and then I didn't get the opportunity to actually see the rest of it. And then this was on sale at Target for, I think, like $8 or something, which is about the best used price you're going to get for this. So I just jumped on it. So, and in terms of extras, I don't know how long these are. So we've got a featurette, deleted scenes, and a photo gallery of the miniatures. So, we'll see. So, looking forward to that. And then jumping to, when was this? Also last week's used finds. So our first stop was a pawn shop, where if you saw the last fall haul video, you'll remember I found my name is Bruce on DVD, which I did not know there was a Blu-ray. And when I found this for $3, it was like, well, crap, I guess we'll just, it's practically nothing, I might as well just upgrade, so, this one does not come with a little comic like the DVD, though, but, well, when we sit down and watch, we're going to probably end up watching both of them anyway, just to make sure that the DVD works so I can sell it. But I wonder if the comic that the DVD came with is on the disc, so that's kind of my guess, but we'll see. And then going back to another trip, so I think either that same day or the day after at another place, we found the Criterion Dressed to Kill, which I recently read this book called Games of Terror, and it was talking about, I guess, the dynamics of like slasher movies from the period right after, from Halloween to roughly around, I think, The Burning, the last movie it talked about, and they were exploring like the themes of like looking and seeing in the genre. It was a very strange book. And anyway, they mentioned Dressed to Kill several times, and I'd honestly never heard of Dressed to Kill before. So when I was out looking around, it was like, hey, there's that movie. Oh, it's on Criterion. Oh, it's Brian De Palma. It's probably pretty great. And, well, I picked it up because it was somewhat cheaper than usual. It was like $17, which is pretty good for a Criterion title. Then moving on to yet another place that I went. So I was there for, what did I go looking for? I went there looking for the Banana Splits movie, which I really want to see because it looks outrageous. And supposedly they had it, but they couldn't find it. Like, they knew where the disc was, but they had lost the case. And so I ended up just getting some other stuff from them. So I did not have Tremors 5, so I bought that. The Tremors series, there's a lot to love in the Tremors series. Like, most of them are pretty good movies overall. Even the newer ones, which haven't really blown people's minds in the same way, but they've been like good outings. They've been fun to watch. Like, they've been entertaining. It's just all around a solid series. But for whatever reason, they don't really have very good Blu-ray releases. So I think the set they have for the Blu-rays is literally just like the old DVD features, like ported over. Like, I don't think there's anything for Tremors 2 or 3. I know there's a couple of like little featurettes for the first Tremors. There was a little bit more stuff on 6, Cold Day in Hell. And there was a little bit on here too. They had like about 10 minutes of deleted scenes, about 6 minutes of outtakes, and they had like a 10-minute, like a little making of thing. But it'd be really nice if they could get like, Shout Factory did this amazing Critters set a while ago, and it'd be really nice if somebody like that could do the Tremors series like in full, like just like that, like deck out every release. Because I think Tremors is with Lionsgate, I don't think Universal. I don't think that'll get to happen, but it would be really, really nice if we could have that. Because, no matter what, they're still fun movies. Even, like, 4 or 5, even, like, 4 is enjoyable as just, like, a dumb monster movie. Which I think a lot of people would be much happier and healthier if they just indulged in that every once in a while. So, and then moving on in the same trip, I personally am not a fan of Wild Eye releasing. So when I was brand new to collecting, I would get a lot of my stuff from Family Video because it was honestly the only place to buy movies in the town I lived in. And I ran into so many truly terrible movies doing that. Like, I called them basement movies. It was like, wow, how did this get released? Like, how did this get made? Like, oh my god, and I'd flip them over and look at like the production company or whatever, like just wanting to know more about it. It's like, how did this get onto DVD? Like, it costs money to put stuff on DVD. And a lot of times the worst offender was something called Brain Damage Films, which all their movies were, wow, just horrible beyond words. And another frequent offender was Wild Eye Releasing, which is behind this. So this is a documentary about the Scary Stories books. And with the new Scary Stories by Guillermo del Toro out, I was really interested in seeing this. Like, I heard it advertised. Like, some of my Twitter followers and Twitter friends actually work for Wild Eye, which I'm pretty sure it's... I really want to give Wild Eye another shot. So that's part of why we bought this, but also I had really wanted to see this particular documentary when it was announced. So I was really happy to pick this up. It was like $4 used, which, yeah, that's about the sweet spot for a DVD, in my opinion. And it's actually got some fairly thick extras, too. We've got commentary, bonus footage, which I don't know how much of that there is, but usually with a documentary, that's like extra stuff that didn't make it into the main feature, and there's usually a lot of it. I remember there was something I watched recently. It might have been Never Sleep Again, or like one of the big documentaries where it's like, you know, extra footage, and it was like 2 hours of just clips that they couldn't put in the movie because there wasn't room. So, good forward to seeing what that's about. So plus, a lot of people, Scary Stories was really important to a lot of people, like, growing up, and just because of my, like, situation, I didn't get to grow up with stuff like this. I first heard about the books, and like, maybe 2013, 2014, you know, when I was in my, like, late 20s. So, it'll be fun catching up on that entire thing. And then moving out to a different day, I don't think I got to go pick this up the day it came out, but it was at Best Buy when I was there, and it's like, oh, you still have it. Actually, this might have been a Friday the 13th pickup, too. It's kind of hard to remember, so school's been startlingly busy. But we got the 4K John Wick 3 Parabellum, which isn't horror, but hey, it's a fun movie. I don't care. And it's a pretty nice steelbook. Even by Best Buy standards, so that's kind of a fun thing that they did. It's like they actually numbered it, and usually they don't do that on the John Wick Steel on any of the Best Buy Steelbooks. So I thought that was an interesting, unique thing. I'm gonna try to not damage our other Blu-rays here and fail hideously. So yeah, it has kind of a neat like inner thing with like the gun rack from the hotel. And it was a cool movie, of course. So. This had a decent amount of like extra stuff on it, like I think about an hour's worth of like, featurettes. No commentary, which I thought was sort of strange, but I got what I wanted from it. You know, it's like a fun action movie with about as much violence as a horror movie. So, hey, and it's a pretty nice steelbook. So it took so long to get the time to like film this video that I've managed to watch through a fair amount of this stuff already, which is kind of not usually how I do things. So it's nice to be able to actually talk about what's on some of these discs instead of just like, hey, I found this today, guys. So moving on. Now, Dollar Tree has started having, so every once in a while Dollar Tree gets like DVDs and Blu-rays in. It's usually like almost like a special event kind of thing. Like, it doesn't have any fanfare, but people on, like, collector groups will get excited. It's like, they're back! Yes! It's like, okay, cool. So, I wandered into Dollar Tree, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Ooh, I hit my thing and I thought I canceled the recording. Crap. No, we're good. Anyway, and so Dollar Tree had gotten their stuff in. So, looking at other collector posts, this wasn't Dollar Shoe was abnormally good. Usually, it's not like the best movies, or like at least stuff I'm not really interested in. But this time they were kind of kicking butt. So let's dive in with our. I got 2 DVDs and 1 Blu-ray. So the first thing they had for $1 was Yoga Hosers on Blu-ray with the slip. The slip's a little beat up, but it was $1. So, and I don't know really anything about this movie other than Kevin Smith did it, and people were excited, and it's got his daughter in it, and I guess Johnny Depp's daughter too. So I'm kind of curious to see just what this is all about. And at $1, I mean, I don't think I can lose. So plus I showed it off in some other places, and people were like, "Yeah!" So I was like, "Oh, okay, guess I did good." And even though this is kind of smashed in, so the first DVD I got from that trip was the complete series of The Tick from, there was a 2001, you may know about The Tick that's on Amazon right now, which I really need to go back to, because I saw the first season and I loved it, and I don't know if season 2 ever came out, because we kind of got saturated with content around that time. But anyway, so if you liked that, then there's a good chance you'll like the original Tick series, which came out in about 2001. From what I can understand, they only aired 1 episode before canceling it, which is quite the crime, honestly, because it's pretty funny. Like, I just love this original series. Like, Patrick Warburton as the Tick with his big, deep voice that's incredibly distinctive. Like, it kind of helps a lot of the jokes, too. Because, like, the Tick is, like, a superhero that's basically just insane. Like, he doesn't know where he is or what he's doing most of the time. Like, and he's just, like, shouting, like, superhero slogans. Like, it's kind of, it's hard to describe without actually showing it to people. But it's so awesome. And he runs into some other superheroes, and they just kind of hang out and sort of fight crime, like, when they have the opportunity, but mostly it's them kind of playing off of each other. It's hard to describe, but it's so fun. Like, oh my god, I love this. So, like, there's one in the first episode, like, they're fighting a Soviet robot that's been programmed to assassinate Jimmy Carter, but it's, like, an old robot, so it's still, like, carrying out its mission. And it gets away from them because they're kind of incompetent. And Jimmy Carter happens to be in town. And so it goes after, like, the old man Jimmy Carter, still thinking he's the president. I'm making it sound ridiculous, which it is. That's the entire point of the series, is to just be nuts and weird. But it was so funny. It's like the robot, Jimmy Carter escapes the robot with Arthur's help. And the robot's like, "Oh!" And then the Tick, "Too late, we learned that communism doesn't pay." And the robot, like, slumps its shoulders, like, "Oh." It's like, yeah, it's so funny. I could probably do a whole thing just on that. Like, there's so much to love in that series. And then we're wrapping this up with kind of an odd pick. So, this is an independent movie that I saw during that whole, like, family video collecting period, and I sold it because that was kind of why I would buy all that stuff from Family Video at the time. But this is one of the very few movies that stuck with me after I saw it, and I don't think anything else that I saw in that period from indie movies really even did that. So it's called All Superheroes Must Die, and basically the premise is, like, there's this group of superheroes, and they're brought into a trap, and they lose their powers, and some of them get, like, violently killed, but one guy is okay and can still kind of fight through the trap, because his secret was he never had powers in the first place. Like, he just, like, exercised a lot, and worked as hard as he could to, like, fit in with the group, because, like, he liked the girl in the group. I'm not making it sound all that enticing, But this was a genuinely good movie, and I regretted selling it. I really did. But hey, for $1, and I've seen more copies of this out there too. So I mean, if you have the opportunity, like, go give this a try. Like, it was honestly pretty good. Uh, and that's not something I say of independent movies a lot of times. Well, at least that level of independent movies. So, well, I guess that does it for at least a little bit. So, I guess there was one more thing. So, I got to go see Three from Hell. And I went on poster night. And here's my poster. In terms of, like, a Rob Zombie movie, it felt kind of like a mashup between House and Devil's Rejects. Like, if you liked either of those movies, you'll probably like Three from Hell. It did very much feel like something we'd already seen, though. I wouldn't say almost like scene for scene, but just theme for theme, more like. Like, the first act was, like, really kind of cartoony and weird. The second act was pure Devil's Rejects, them killing people on the road. And then the third act was also more Devil's Rejects, where they kind of get what's coming to them, but in a fairly unsatisfying way. So, worst cartel goons ever is all I'm going to say about that. So that was another thing. Oh, yeah. And Spirit Halloween did finally open after whatever problems they were having. So the Spirit Halloween I've been trying to go to, it had been closed because I guess when they rented their building, they got like a bad electrical inspection or something to that effect, so they couldn't open for like 2 weeks. And I finally got to go there on Friday the 13th and look around. They didn't have any masks that I was looking to collect. Like, it was kind of... I don't think it's going to be a good time, like, collecting masks or anything like that until Trick or Treat Studios actually ships out its stuff sometime in October. But, so I really like the Freddy pattern just on anything. And at Hot Topic a while ago, I got this really crummy looking pair of, like, Nightmare on Elm Street socks. When I put them on, like, I can see, like, the white lines, like, the print isn't... The colors are just, like, printed on there, like, it's not even, like, the material. They look terrible, is the point. And so, at Spirit Halloween, they have these Freddy socks, which I thought were really nice. And I didn't open yet, because I wanted to show them off. But they got, like, slashes on them. So, and they feel like they will be pretty comfortable. So, plus it doesn't, like... On the other ones, like, I go like this, and they just turn white. And it's like, they look awful, but they should be nice. Maybe the worst part of this, though, was afterward, my friend that I was with, she was like, oh, let's go to Hot Topic, too. And Hot Topic not only had exactly what I was looking for, because these are, like, super long and, like, go all the way up my leg, but they were, like, really nice quality. These are, like, really thick, too, because... When I wear, like, my horror socks, I like to really, like, pull them up and show them off. So, plus it's kind of a way to not freeze when I, like, wear shorts in, like, slightly cold weather. So it was like, man, I just bought, And it was the weirdest deal. It was like, these were either $9 by themselves, or I could buy 3 pairs for $10. So it was $1 more to get 2 more pairs. So I now own 3 pairs of these, one of which is over in the hamper, because I wore them before. They're a little tight, and they roll down, like, if you move around too much, but, they're pretty great. So, the weird stuff I put up with. But, anyway, I think we've gone on pretty long, so, yeah, we'll hopefully be launching our dedicated horror podcast in a few weeks, when some of our stuff is a little bit more open. And we'll see what we find as the last week of September comes up, and then we go into October. which I want to do something really fun for October, but no idea what. So, with all that said, so hopefully you enjoyed seeing all the cool stuff we found. And the best part was we didn't really break our bank too much. So, yeah. So, anyway, hope you had fun. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and we'll see you around with more Mania. Whenever.